evening, and welcome to tonight's concert. In order to help us perform our best, we would ask you to help us with a few things.
Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Help us to not be distracted by unexpected sounds.
We would love for you to take pictures of your student, but please do so without using the flash and without standing in the aisles.
Please stay to support all students' hard work. Band students will be expected to stay to watch other groups perform.
The sixth grade band will begin our portion of the concert with a piece called Banza Abba, arranged by Douglas Wagner. This is a Zambanian folk song which loosely translates to all who sing. We use this piece to practice our concert A naturals and to learn syncopated rhythms.
We will be continuing our concert by playing Colliding Visions by Brian Balmages. This piece earns its name from the two contrasting parts of the piece. We learned how to change speeds in meters with this piece. It begins with a slow section in 3/4 time, switches to faster 4/4 meter, and ends back in the original 3/4 meter.
You will want to know that this piece has at least one fake out ending in it. So it is over when my arms go down. Also, hint, it is over when you hear the shh at the end.
The final piece of the 6th grade portion of tonight's concert is Athletes of Gold. Many of us learned from our peers that athletes are ornamental shoulder pieces on military uniforms. This piece is a traditional march style, and it has a short stinger at the end. We learned that in music, a stinger is short, round note that comes at the end of the march.
I also wanted to let you guys know that in this piece, we will feature our clarinet section for a portion of the piece. We would love to have you clap for them at the very end of the piece. We're going to give them a chance to stand up and be acknowledged. And then everybody else will stand up with them. But if you could save your applause for the end for our clarinets, that would be awesome. Thank you. All right, well, we're in transition mode. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being here. Your students have been working really hard all year long, and it has been a blast to work with them. So thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. We are transitioning to jazz band at this point in time. So my jazz band friends are coming up and joining me. And I'll go ahead and introduce our jazz band piece so that we can just jump right into it. Our jazz band piece is called Riffology. It will have a trombone soloist, Peyton Sidoris, and give us just a minute for transition. All right, 7th grade, you guys are coming up. It looks like we're gonna have to kind of go around the front of the stage and then to our spots, okay? So come along this way. Perfect. All right. I do want to shout out, you may notice one of our 7th graders looks a little taller and older than the rest of them. We do have a high schooler. I asked him a couple weeks ago, I said, one of my 7th graders can't be at the concert and they play the percussion instruments. And if they're not there, we're gonna be really missing a part. And so I said, can you fill in? And Teague Hannes was very kind and said, hey, I'll fill in. So let's give him a round of applause for jumping in and helping us out.
seventh grade band will begin by playing Storm Church by David Schaefer. This piece describes the storm water that surges to the shore during a hurricane. You will hear the melody move throughout the various sections of the band. We learned about cutting time with this piece.
Our next 7th grade piece is Road Protocol by Emily Graham. We learned that Miss Graham uses a science fiction book series that's inspired for this piece. In the book, the main character is a robot who breaks free from its programming and evades capture by doing its job while secretly binge-watching its favorite TV show. This piece captures a sense of danger that the robot faces while trying to lead a double life. We use this piece to practice clarinet high notes and to work on our dynamics, playing loudly, softly, or in the middle. In order to cover all percussion parts, some of our wind players have joined the percussion section for this piece.
All right, we are combining our 7th and 8th grade bands all together into one big band to play for you our next piece. I'm not gonna spoil it because I have a reader who's excited to tell you about it. 8th grade, come on up. If you like this piece, you should come to the high school concert on Tuesday, February 24th to hear it again. 8th grade and a few of our 7th graders will play it with our high school students, so that will be a real treat.
The 7th and 8th grade bands are combining together to perform highlights from Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. The soundtrack was written by Jeff Zanelli, and this arrangement is by Michael Brown. We were challenged by this piece with its changing meters and speeds. We also worked with meters that were less familiar to 8th graders and unfamiliar to 7th graders. There are several solos and duets throughout this piece. Mallet soloists are Reese Rasmussen and Trey Wilson. Bennett Rebling will play several timpani solos. Atlee Hudson and Avery Wendland will play the French horn duet. Ava Jones and Delaney Ward will play the alto saxophone duet, and Stella Myers and Jordan Helwig will play the flute duet.
One quick note about our solos. Most of them are pretty short and they're back to back. So if you could save your applause to the end so that we don't accidentally applaud over top of somebody's solo. I will give you a chance to recognize those people. We'll let them stand up at the end. what these students, some of them are aware, but some of them are not aware of, is I usually program for 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. I pick pieces that are, quote, grade level 1 through grade level 2.5. That's kind of how the band system works. This piece that we just played for you was actually a grade 3, which is typically reserved for high school. High school usually does 3 to 4, and then college usually does 4 to 5. So they worked really hard on this piece. Can we give them one more round of applause? They're awesome work. All right, before I turn this over to my last couple of readers, and we have 2 pieces left for you in this concert. As soon as we're done with these 2 pieces, we're looking for anybody who's willing to help stack chairs. We're looking for stacking them every other direction, 12 high. And then if anybody is able to help move some tables into this, we're very blessed to have a space to work with, but it's used for lunch, it's used for concerts, it's used for events, assemblies, and everything. So if you could help us make this look like a cafeteria so our kids can eat breakfast in the morning, that would be awesome if you're able to help with that. All right, I'm going to turn this over to my last couple of readers.
The 8th grade band will now perform Running of the Bulls by Michael Story. The Running of the Bulls is an event that occurs in July in Pamplona, Spain, as a part of their Fiesta de St. Fermin celebration. This piece has 2 sections. The first section is called Morning in Pamplona and features the flutes and clarinets, followed by the alto saxophones and French horns. The second section is called The Running of the Bulls and begins featuring our mallets and flutes, followed by our trumpets. We practice speeding up as we get toward the end of the piece.
The 8th grade band will end tonight's concert with March of the Hobgoblins by Randall Standridge. Hobgoblins are mischievous creatures from fairy tales, and you can hear the mischief portrayed in this piece. We worked on playing lightly with our staccato notes, we practiced sudden changes between loud and soft, and we reviewed chromatic notes that are not usually in our key signature.
Thank you so much. I'll get some lights back on for you all, and anybody that's able to help with chairs, tables, we'd love your help.